What's up, Sauce Nation? It's your boy Ed Honcho here. This is Sauce Sports, a Sauce Sports special. If you're not familiar with Sauce Sports is a Houston homer channel. That means we talking all H-Town all the time. Astros, Rockets, Texans, Dynamo. We talking collegiate, Rile, the Owls, the Owls, the Cougs. You know what I mean? Owls, unfortunately, it's Go Cougs, but they are Houston team, so we're going to show love. TSU, whoever it may be, high school, collegiate, professional, amateur, whatever it is, Houston homer channel. So if you ain't fucking with Houston, man, you might as well bounce right now. Go ahead, give me a thumbs down and just bounce, because we don't give a shit. But here's the deal. H-Town by proxy, if you fucking with H-Town, like I say, as you know how it goes, as you understand, I am Ed Honcho, the Houston homer. I am Ed Honcho, your Houston homeboy. I'm not doing Ed Honcho. Well, I still have the real Ed Honcho with Twitter and Instagram, so if you want to follow there. But if you're looking for simply H-Town sports takes, Sauce Sport HTX on Twitter. SauceSports.com is the website. Now, let's get into things. Okay, rookie minicamp, that's over with. We got workouts this week, so it's not really like a lot going on, because I'm more eager about OTAs. I said that in yesterday's video. Here's what I want to talk about today. And if you're not familiar with Sauce Sports, Ed Honcho, or any other channels that I rock with, it is a 420 friendly situation. So if you ain't pre-roll, you're out of control, get your shit together. I just wanted to touch on a few things about the Texans. We've been excited, Sauce Nation. We've been talking about, how eager we are to see this defense, how eager we are to see Deshaun Watson in action, the competition between Savage and Watson. We're eager to see that. But, there's a bigger factor that oversees all of those things. And that factor is, that front office, management, the coaching staff. And what I want to highlight on is the beef between Rick Smith and Bill O'Brien, Bill and Rick. It sounds like two guys who should be buddies. Bill and Rick, they're my buddies, Bill and Rick. I love those guys. But, unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. I want to take a time out real quick. Oh, my God, real quick. And I want to shout out to Greg at Kroger. I apologize if I responded kind of off. I was just in my own little zone. So I want to send a shout out to Greg at Kroger's. He came up to me. It was cool to meet you. Hopefully we get to chop it up again real soon. So I just wanted to do that. But now, like I say, Sauce Nation, sorry about that. Had to send a Sauce Nation shout out, man, live and in the flesh. But let's talk about Bill and Rick and their relationship, because that relationship can be toxic. The culture of a team is very, very important. And I know when Bill came in, he changed a lot of things. He tried to make it more about the team, less about the individual names, and things of that nature. Now, I know that Bill wants complete control over the Texans. He wants Belichick. He wants to be baby Bill Belichick, basically. Baby Bill. And Little Bill, not like the Cosby Little Bill, but, Little Bill. But what I'm saying is that, Bill wants control. And, of course, nobody likes giving up any of their power. And knowing that Bill wants complete control over, personnel and all those things, too, I'm pretty sure it's an issue for Mr. Smith, because he's snug and comfortable in his job. Maybe too snug and comfortable. As you see, our director of player personnel, Gaines, he bounced him into the Bills. That's a bad sign. And that's kind of what made me start thinking about this whole thing. Because what does that say? You basically left the Texans to go to the Bills to be in the same position. You can't believe the Bills are a better team than the Texans, because that's not a fact. That's not true. That tells me something about that culture that's going on in Houston right now. That's what that signifies to me. If nothing else, that there's a bit of an issue. And I don't think it, like I say, that has nothing to do with Bill O'Brien. I think that issue becomes a deal with Rick Smith. That just shows that Rick Smith is firmly entrenched in his position, and they're not going to waver on it. Now, I know most of the fans here in Houston are not real high on Rick Smith, regardless of, his first round success and his early round success. And we accredit him to some of the undrafted free agent talent, but is that really him, or is that the coaching staff that is, observing these guys as they go along? So, and I just have a question. So if it comes down to it, you know who McNair is going to choose. Of course, it would be Rick Smith if there becomes a dispute, because at the end of the season, and this is what I say, there's only Bill O'Brien wasn't putting this out. At the end of the season last year, when we were in the playoffs, that people are talking about they're waiting for the Texans to lose so that they can see what happens with Bill O'Brien. Bill O'Brien is a good coach. A lot of people don't like him. A lot of people don't, agree. But I think he's a good coach to have been able to manage, winning seasons, not great seasons, but winning seasons with this rotation that he's had at quarterback, this QB carousel of backups. He's done a decent job. Did much better than Kubiak, who had a much longer leash. And then even when that leash, I don't know, you thought it reached its full extension, he somehow got some more leeway, and then just regressed like in a way that is just unfathomable. I don't understand. But he got a way longer leash. When do you start putting some of the weight on Rick Smith? And how much do you put on Bill O'Brien? There was a video when we talked about the Deshaun Watson pick. And the Texan fan hates Deshaun Watson pick video. And we mentioned that, the Texans do play games. Shout out to Shaq Kush. That the Texans do play games. Check out Shaq Kush TV whenever he puts some shit on there. So, that the Texans play games with quarterbacks. Because like you say, you come into this thing, Tom Savage is our starter. No questions asked. We draft Deshaun Watson. Deshaun, he might get a chance to compete. He might get a chance to play. Okay, but like literally days ago, you just said it was Tom. We got full faith in Tom. It is what it is now. I know Tom's a warrior. I know he's going to go out there and compete. He's been competing the whole time he's been here. He hasn't been getting much love. He's just going to do what he does. Now, whether or not that's exceptional or whether or not that's, subpar, that's up to him. But like I say, the coaching staff plays games with people. Like Shaq Kush had mentioned, the Hoyer and Mallet situation, going into the season. What kind of competition? Mallet thought he would be the guy. And then you bring in Hoyer, and then that whole situation comes up. You yank him early. So, some of that, I put that on B.O.B. That's definitely, that's all on B.O.B. But, Rick Smith is a part of this too. This Texans organization at the top. Is that the thing that's keeping us from reaching the real success? Because the talent has been there. The talent has been there for multiple years. Like I say, simply by maintaining all your first-round draft picks, and like I say, they were all talented, except for what, Mario. That shows that the talent evaluation is top-notch. So we're not worried about the scouting. Okay, we got good evaluators as far as that, but as the ins and outs, as handling the talent, once you have it in there, how do you put it in the right places? Things of that nature, dealing with the different personalities and things like that. Who's responsible for these things? So who is causing this befuddled mess at the top of the food chain? Like I said, between the front office, between the coaching staff, there are definitely some conflicts, and that's something that needs to be addressed. That's something that needs to be ironed out, because if we go into this season and this season's like a flop, or this season's just a dud, and it could possibly happen. Anything can happen. You hope for the best, prepare for the worst. Anything can happen. Okay, right? We thought we were on the brink, and we went 2-14. So we gotta get that mess figured out. And like I say, if something was to happen, we already know who McNair's going to side with unconditionally, and that bothers me a lot, because like I say, you start to see something. There has to be other changes being made, because if you see people saying, okay, well, Bill O'Brien's on the hot seat, but then other teams are kind of waiting in the wings to get him, so it might not be Bill O'Brien. What is it that they see in him that he's obviously able to do something with this trash that he's had that they want him? So maybe it's something else going on. The whole the Brock debacle. Yes, let's talk about the Brock debacle for a second. nobody wanted to take ownership of the Brock debacle. The story was Rick Smith went out and signed Brock, never met him, maybe talked to him for 5 minutes, something like that. Then Bill O'Brien didn't want him. Then it came back that they did, and there was, the headbutting between Bill and Brock and all this other stuff. So like I say, there's accusations and assumptions being placed here, there, everywhere, saying that this guy did that, and this guy did that. We need some clarity as fans. We want clarity. We want to know who's responsible for this tomfoolery from last year. And I kind of think it's this guy. But, this guy also had a part in it by saying, hey, look, the guy's not fucking good. Are we trying to win games here? Are we trying to make up for money? Like, you got to be a coach. And at some point as a coach, you probably want to say, I don't want to give up on the guy, or maybe we saw something, you want to try to figure it out and try to get it out of him. But then it gets to the point where you're in that season and you're like, okay, well, we're still doing a little something. We have a chance to do something. Let's go with the best talent. Let's run with it. But like I say, man, it's between these two guys. I don't think the beef has settled. I don't think the dust is cleared. And I think that there is still some animosity, no matter how smiley they've been, how, buddy they've been in the media lately or whatever it may be. Everybody's happy about the Watson pick. You're happy about the future. You guys have a mutually vested interest, but the way that both these guys want to go about it is completely different. So you kind of got to figure out who is the man, who's the better guy to make the decision. But of course, it's going to be Smith making the choices and then McNair backing him up. And I think that's very unfortunate because, like I said, I like what we have in Bill O'Brien. The QB guru part hasn't been proven so much, but now he's going to be more hands-on. He's calling the offense. So let's see what he can do. Let's see what happens. Give him a fair shot. Like I say, this year, no excuses. Something like that. Because you got your guy in Deshaun. That's the guy you wanted. Now, like I say, they may not have been coming in with intentions of Deshaun playing right away this year. But I think it's a possibility it's going to happen. I'm not looking for Dak Prescott Jr. I'm looking for Deshaun Watson, the Deshaun Watson story. I want him to make his own lane. I'm not looking for Warren Moon Jr. I'm not looking for McNair. I'm not looking for any of that in those comparisons because you automatically, we're going to make the comparisons to the black quarterback, and that's just what happens. And I blame Shaq Kush for that because I don't see him necessarily like that. But he's mobile. But just like I say, everybody's mobile now. Everybody's a dual threat quarterback. So, we got to move away from that stigma. And I got to work on that too, personally. But I want Deshaun Watson to be Deshaun Watson, and that's all I want. I mean, he's a winner. But I think you're not going to just come in and be a winner not knowing how to communicate with your teammates and things like that. So I think once he gets those things down, and if it takes him, halfway through the season, if it takes him a whole season, I'd rather him be comfortable with the offense and then being allowed to play freely because you're not thinking. When you think on that field, that's what gets you killed. Okay, you got to be able to react. You got to be able to respond. It has to be second nature. You has to be, you see it, you react, you let it go. Once you're thinking about it, that's sack. That's fumble. That's those things. You can see that happening to Brock. He's out there thinking, and getting himself fucked off. Anyway, well, like I said, I just wanted to speak on these two things today. I just wanted to highlight because everything everybody's been happy about Watson and everything else going on, but we've forgotten that there has still been some tension between these guys, and I don't believe that it's settled because powerful people don't fold like that. These are two guys both in positions of power. We know this motherfucker likes to talk a lot of shit. That's why I like the motherfucker don't give a fuck. He talks a lot of shit. Kind of like me, like talking a lot of shit. Anyway, like I say, Sauce Nation, I just want to know your opinion. I want to know, if it comes down to it, who would you rather lose? Would you rather lose Bill O'Brien? Would you rather lose Rick Smith? Who do you think has provided the most benefit to the Texans? Rick Smith, Bill O'Brien, of course, he's had a longer tenure to do so, but say winning seasons, you got to think about what he's had to work with, the culture change, things of that nature. So, like I say, Sauce Nation, I'm your boy, the real Ed Honcho as it is, but I say the real Ed Honcho if you want to follow me on Twitter and Instagram for the craziness. Sauce Sports HCX, all H-Town, sports talk, Houston Astros, Dynamo, Texans, Rockets, like I say, collegiate, professional, high school, whatever we get on. You got anything you want me to talk about, man, shoot it to me, and I'm always willing to talk about that. But like I say, saltsports.com, you can go and check it out, the website. All the videos are there, and I'm going to start putting some other written articles and some things like that. This is Salt Sports Special. I'm the Real Ed Honcho. Subscribe if you like what I'm talking about. And I appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Every comment, constructive criticism, you know what I'm saying, just advice, like everything, just shout outs, just the love, man. Like I say, I appreciate it, man. That's all I can say, man. It's like it's amazing to me, you know what I'm saying, that getting this love from the city, that, you know, I love the city, and like I say, I got to appreciate, I love Sauce Nation, I love you guys, and I appreciate all that, man. And man, I got love for y'all, man. I can't, you know what I'm saying, it's what's up. Anyway, I'm Ed Honcho. Deuce up. I'm out. H-Town by proxy, wherever you may be at, y'all be cool.